What's up, everybody? I recently binged all of season 2 of Night Agent. Are we surprised? I don't know. Um, if you would like to know my thoughts on the first season of Night Agent, I'll stick that in one of the corners because whatever corner the card comes out of, that's the corner that it is. And I can never remember which one that is. You'd think by now I'd figure it out, but meh. Um, One of the things that I did not realize when I watched the first season, somehow I managed to miss it if it was ever stated in the opening credits, because I could have just, not been paying attention to the opening credits, is that it's based off of a book. Does not change how I enjoyed it or the fact that I would have watched it regardless, because there is a person who is on the writing team that I have watched some of her earlier stuff and I still think she is a fantastic human being. That is Imogen Browder. And so, you know, still would have probably watched it anyways, because seeing how people are doing when you watch some of their earlier stuff is just really cool. Just getting to continue to support people in the things that they clearly want to do and are still striving to do. So, there's that. If you want to know my thoughts on the book, because I have read the book since then, that is on my blog, which you can find down below. So, all of that push aside, let's dive in to season 2. So, overall, I would say there are definitely differences because with season 2, we are going away from the book. They're getting to go into their own unknown territory as far as adaptation is concerned, because there is no other book. There is just the one Night Agent book. Matthew Quirk, who is the author of said book, has not written any others about Peter Sutherland and what he is up to post season 1, post book 1. There is no other options. With that in mind, there really isn't like oh, well, I don't know that they would have done it this way or that way. Like, it's a great continuation when you're looking at it from going from season 1 to season 2. Overall, everything looks amazing. Everything feels it. There is a level of difference in kind of how the story is told, because we do get a level of flashback to current, because there's a whole portion of time from when we are first pulled in at the top of season 2 that we don't know how we got there. And so the flashbacks are beneficial. You still have two different storylines that will cross at one point in time, but we haven't reached that point in time until later in the season. It's still 10 episodes long. It's still super fun. It's still a show that I will continue to watch and is worth watching in one sitting if you can. Here's your warning going forward. There could be spoilers. If you do not wish to be spoiled, this is where you should probably stop. Cool, cool. One of the things I do really appreciate that they acknowledged in season 2 is the fact that Rose and Peter have trauma bonded. And that is a very strong connection that you can have with somebody, but I don't know that they really delved into it as to whether or not they're going about it in a healthy way versus an unhealthy way. And, you could sit here and debate whether or not trauma bonding in general is healthy or not, but that is how their bond was formed. Therefore, just because all the therapist that Rose is seeing acknowledges is that it's like, no, you trauma bonded. Like, that's what that is. And that's a very strong bond. And that's about as deep as they got into it. Because I think as an audience, we can see the way that Rose and Peter interact with each other, that they were able to do more than just the trauma bond. They were able to build something on top of that, which is not something I think we always get to see with trauma bonds. I have seen so many edits that really focus on Rose and Peter's relationship. And it is an interesting one. It's definitely different than most relationships that we do see in these types of stories. I think if you're comparing it to the way things are shown in the novel, like, yes, you have, like, it's still that whole, like, trauma bond situation, but the novel doesn't really leave you thinking that there is going to be more for Rose and Peter. Just, it was a thing that happened and cool, like, they're moving on. Um, you know. But And the way that things end with season 2, it's unclear whether or not we will see Rose and Peter together again, because at the end of the day, Peter is choosing to do his job because it's kind of who he is. Like, at his core, he is this person who will take ownership for his mistakes. He will um, do what he can to keep those around him safe. And so, with that, you kind of got to figure out, can Rose and Peter work? I don't know. But at the same time, I think there's a level of like Rose needing to choose herself. And she does choose herself in a way, but not in the same way that Peter does. It's not like a positive or negative either way. It's just, it's a thing. I was slightly disappointed that we did not get more of Brittany Snow. I hated the fact that her character gets killed off in the first episode. I would have loved to see more of her character, and we do get a flashback like later on in the season, but I think she would have been absolutely stellar as, more consistent character. It would just been really fun to see. It was a very nice surprise when I saw Ed Rossini on screen as a brief little like guest star appearance, and it's like not Ed being in something Imogen's working on, because Ed's the co-writer of Jules and Monty, and I think Pantheon University, and I think they also did Wave Jack together. My brain is completely like blanking on all of that. All of that stuff kind of squishes together into one time period, and it was a great time period when it came to web series, but has nothing to do with this outside of the fact that it was just an exciting moment, as felt like Easter eggs to me. But I really liked how the role of Catherine kind of feels like a similar way to Diane Farr from season 1, but it's not the same as Diane Farr, and that's like a whole moment that like Rose even points out to Peter of like, she is not Diane. You have to like, you can't just assume everyone is going to be like Diane, who literally just like threw him to the wolves and was hoping like, oh yeah, we can pin it on him because your dad was also crooked, so we'll just pin it on you and everyone will believe it. And it's like, but that's not how it works. And so I did like that nice little parallel where it's like, as an audience, you're sitting there, it's like, should we trust Catherine? I don't know that we should trust Catherine. Maybe, maybe not. Meh. Well, that's all the thoughts that I got. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share. My name is Kara, and I try my best to make videos once a week. But as for now, that's it for me. I will see you next video. Bye.